In this chapter, we go in depth in detailing the importance of data warehousing, where it's used and how it's used. We also discuss applications that data warehouses support. One of the applications that data warehouses support is OLAP, or Online Analytical Processing. Here is an overview of the topics we will cover in this chapter. As the name implies, data warehouse helps us greatly with data storage. Data warehouse users are able to retrieve larger data sets with a single query without running into errors. There are multiple tools associated with using data from a data warehouse. Many of you must like data mining for choosing it for your paper. Here is a visual of how we retrieve data from a data warehouse, either to just view or to update information. Often, data warehouses feature large amounts of data stored over a long period of time. The two big characteristics of data warehouses are multi-user support and accessibility. As with this much data, multiple users may be retrieving data at once. There are four commonly referenced types of data warehouses noted here: enterprise-wide data, virtual data, logical data, and data marts. Within data warehousing, you have a quote-unquote middleman available to you in the form of data stores. These may produce only raw data in some cases. Think back to previous chapters where we discussed arrays and matrices. We don't want our data, especially this much data, to be lost, so thankfully our data warehouses are non-volatile. Here is a matrix versus a data cube visual. Notice you are more likely to have more data inside the data cube. Here are some functionality features a data warehouse will have and how they work. Over the next few slides, you will see pivot, roll up, and drill down. Think of a pivot table in Excel. You are changing your data based on certain pieces of info you need. Here, the roll-up operation is seen and described. Here, the drill-down operation is seen and described. With a multi-dimensional model, we have two tables and two schemas. How each table works is described here, the dimension and fact table. Here, our two schema possibilities are discussed. You will see how they look on the next two slides, star and snowflake. Here, we have a star schema with fact table. Here, we have a snowflake schema with a dimensional table. Notice the schemas associated with tables. Remember, tables or entities can share attributes? Same in data warehousing is called fact constellation. Indexing is largely ordering our data in an array or matrix. The MDM is in essence the DBA or database administrator of our data warehouse. Here, we begin focusing on what is needed to create a data warehouse. Here, we focus on a very important aspect of data acquisition. Where are we getting the data from, and is it reliable? We get our data from a large variety of sources, but we must make sure it's valid because our users will rely on this data. We also need to make sure our imported data fits our warehouse. As a result, we may need to translate or even convert data. How we store data in a warehouse is vital. Without properly storing data, it makes it that much more difficult for our users to retrieve the data when they need to. When creating a data warehouse, these are among the many design considerations we must address based on our needs and the needs of our users. Metadata is considered to be data about data. Here, you note the two types of metadata within a metadata repository: technical metadata and business metadata. There are many things a data warehouse can do associated with applications. Here, some are discussed. Data views may not necessarily be as reliable or valid as a data warehouse. Generally, a mom and pop shop will not be using a data warehouse, as it is big business. Prep and cost are very involved with a data warehouse. As with any online source, there are issues associated with usage. As those in the field continue to enhance aspects of analytical approaches, the tools we use need to be updated too. Changes in data warehousing are happening as we speak. You should now have a firmer grasp on the concepts related to data warehousing discussed in this chapter.